Hey guys, Uncle Ray, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. I have never seen so much hype, so much misinformation, and quite frankly, just flat out lies about XRP. A lot of influencers are really pumping XRP, and guys, I want to give you some factual information because it concerns me of all the just flat out BS. Now, I watched a video today and I'm going to show it to you, and quite frankly, it may go viral. I'm not going to tell you the guy's name just because I don't want to promote the lies. However, this is going to be very informative. Now, when you watch his video, it's going to pump you up, and quite frankly, he has a lot of talent of how he makes his video. But it's very misleading, and the reason I want to let you watch it and talk about it is because you need to have good factual information to make informed decisions. Now, I own XRP. I plan to own Ripple when they go public. I'm not here to talk bad about XRP. I own it. I plan, I think it's a very, very good risk reward. This is not financial advice. However, the reason we need to talk about it is because, there's a difference between putting, let's say, 10% of your portfolio in, or, lock and loading half your net worth because you believe the hype and you think it's not that risky and that all this stuff is true. There is a big difference about what's going on in the world with Ripple compared to XRP, and I want to talk about that. So I'm going to let you listen to this video. I'm not going to let you do all of it because I don't want, to get knocked off of YouTube for copying too much of the information. But let's check it out. And this is going to pump you up, guys. Check it out.
I hold XRP because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple, who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions, including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emiratis, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America. Ripple, who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve. Ripple, a former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division. Ripple, leading Australia's CBDC effort. Ripple, who hired a former Treasury of the United States.
All right, we're going to stop it right there. Now, the first thing he said right out of the gate, guys, is just a flat out lie. Yes, the Fed was talking to Ripple, back in 2014. However, he said the Fed's going to use Ripple and XRP. No, the Fed has already announced that it is using Cytherium. Fed now, SM Services chooses Cytherium as service provider. Now, there's nothing to do with XRP. Now, there's a lot of people saying, well, Ripple has a partner with so-and-so, and that partner's part of it, and this, that, and the other. But there is no information, no provable information that this has anything to do with XRP. Nothing. Just bad information. Now, yes, Bill Gates is part of one of those foundations and probably did stuff with Ripple and XRP or talked to them. However, what he didn't tell you is since then, because that's very, very old information, since then, Microsoft, which is owned by Bill Gates, was one of the key players of setting up the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. Microsoft has multiple avenues to make money off of the back of Ethereum for whatever that's worth. Now, he also mentioned, and this really bothers me, that Ripple is pioneering the Australian CBDC. That's what he said. Well, that is 100% a lie. And I just created a video, which I'll leave the link down below, and check it out. Breaking for Ethereum, Australian Central Bank to use Ethereum blockchain for CBDC project. Well, according to him, that's going to be Ripple and XRP. See, guys, just flat out misinformation. Now, while we're at it, I'll just go ahead and tell you, because I did a video, and I'll leave another link down below, that was called the CBDC winner. And people couldn't understand how Ethereum could win CBDCs when they're not ISO certified. Well, that's just because they don't understand the big picture and how everything works. ISO is just a certification, guys. Companies can get them. Every blockchain can get it. You just got to have certain standards implemented, whatever those are. And there's different levels. And see, the thing about Ethereum is, and this is something everyone needs to understand, the biggest difference between XRP tokenomics and Ethereum's tokenomics, there's nothing you get to do on Ethereum that you do not have to buy the token, basically, and that doesn't help the token owners. Everybody's going to pay gas fees. So if you're in the ecosystem of Ethereum, you're paying gas fees. See, 90% of everything that Ripple sets up, you don't have to own XRP. Huge difference, guys, and you need to understand that. Well, the reason Ethereum is going to be the winner is because of JP Morgan, which I've created a lot of videos talking about follow the money. See, JP Morgan is basically backing Ethereum in a lot of different ways, but they basically own Quorum. Quorum sits on Ethereum. So everything that JP Morgan does through Quorum, they're going to pay gas fees. You got to buy the Ethereum token. And see, that's what people don't recognize. Just like Consensus. Consensus is going to win CBDCs. They win a lot of stuff with the banks. It sits on Ethereum. And guess who used to own Consensus? JP Morgan. They sold it off, but they still are investors in it. See how it works, guys? Y'all have to understand this. Now, I'm going to tell you one other thing that is hugely important that everyone needs to understand. Now, I highly recommend you go to Quorum and type in, what is it, David Schwartz. He's a co-founder of Ripple XRP. And he's a wealth of information, guys. There's hours of information that he talks about. And they're questions that are pretty powerful that most people want to know the answer to. Like for this, considering the banks don't use XRP coins for their transactions, how can XRP price go even higher if the banks adopt the Ripple platform? Well, guys, that's just one of the thousands of questions people ask. Probably not thousands, but there's a lot. Now, he doesn't tell you that it's going to go up because of the banks. And quite frankly, when you read a lot of this, he tells you that their number one challenge was not the technology, it was getting banks don't want to own the token, and banks don't want to have to deal with the volatility or any of that stuff. Well, that's how they came up with the ODL. Now, this is a very, very important thing, guys, that you have to learn to separate Ripple from XRP. Because listen to what he says, and he talks about a lot of things. Like he talks about how one way that will really move the token with cross-border payments and stuff is not just the banks. He basically talks about how, like, if Apple is doing transactions, or even worldwide Uber, that they need to set up a box, a batch of XRP tokens, and they can, process their cross-border payments themselves, and they can make money doing that. However, this is just my opinion. I don't think that's going to happen that much. Some might do it, but no one's going to try to set up a payment structure based on something that can collapse. So even if you save millions and millions of dollars throughout the year, and you have, let's just say, $50 million worth of XRP, and it crashes, well, that kind of defeats the purpose of using it to begin with. Now, that's just my personal opinion. But here's what I want y'all all to understand, because the number one thing that bothers me about the ODL, which everyone thinks it's a positive. I think it's one of the worst things that Ripple has done to the token owners. And again, not here to rag on Ripple or XRP, but I want y'all to understand it. If that ODL was setting in an Ethereum situation, it would explode, because then all the banks, every single bank that ever did a transaction, would have to buy the token and pay their gas fees, and the token holders would win. But listen to what he says, and he talks about a lot of different topics, but this is straight out of his mouth. The reason we're doing this is to increase the demand for XRP, right? They want to increase the demand. I get that. That's why Ripple does what they do. But to increase the value we can extract from our stash of XRP. Do you understand what I just said? Let me read it again. The reason we're doing this is to increase the demand for XRP, to increase the value we can extract from our stash of XRP. See, guys, like in the ODL, when a bank does a transaction, they don't have to buy it. The token holders don't get anything from it. They borrow it from the stash of Ripple, and then Ripple sends them a bill for the fees. And that's why Ripple is a world beater. And that's why Ripple, in my opinion, is probably going to be one of the biggest IPOs to ever hit Wall Street. That's why Wall Street is going to gobble up Ripple, the corporation, because it's a powerhouse and it makes a ton of money. However, that doesn't necessarily correlate to the token. Y'all need to understand that. And guys, I say this with love, but think about it. Do you think that Brad and those guys set up a corporation to make everyone millionaires? No, they set up the token and the blockchain and everything to make them money, to make Ripple money. And here's another thing. And again, I'm not ragging on XRP. Like I said, I hold it, and I think it's a great risk-reward trade. But they own so much in their escrow, it's going to be 5-10 years before they ever need to even go outside of their escrow, even if it explodes. And at any given time, if XRP happens to pump to $5 to $10, well, guess what's going to happen? You get 1 billion tokens a month dumped on you from Ripple. And that matters, guys. Tokenomics matters. And your major corporations are not going to buy and put themselves at risk to participate in buying tokens that they can get dumped on. Guys, Wall Street, major corporations, and those guys, they do the dumping. They don't get dumped on. So, one other point, and then I'll let you go. I want you guys to start thinking like, imagine if you had 50 million, 100 million, a couple of billion to invest. So guys, y'all look at it as, wow, I can put $10,000 in XRP and maybe turn it into $1 million. And maybe you can, guys. However, see, they have a rule, just like most top investors, don't lose money. They're not trying to turn $100 million into $1 trillion. They don't want to lose. They already have a lot of money. And when you have $1 billion or $10 billion sitting somewhere and it makes 3%, 8%, it 1x's, 2x's, right? That's a ton of money. So they're not looking for these high risk rewards. And people don't understand that. And Wall Street feels comfortable right now in Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're just waiting on regulation. But guys, your Wall Street firms are not going to go out and buy XRP tokens. And if they do, it will not be a significant amount. Anyway, guys, didn't mean to rant, but that's how I roll. As you can tell if you watch any of my videos. Again, I think Ripple is one of the best companies you could possibly invest in. I think XRP is going to do well. Do I think it's going to moon to 10, 20, 100, 1,000? I've heard 35,000. No, it's not going to, guys. The tokenomics won't allow it, and it would take big money, the hedge funds and all those guys, to move it to that level, and they're not speculators like that, guys. They're not, and even if they do, it's not going to maintain it. They're not going to park their money in there. They may jump in there from time to time and pump it up and dump on the retail investor, just like Ripple is going to do and has been. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Look, don't hate. If you want to hate, I'm not going to respond. But if you don't agree with what I said, which are all factual, let me know. And if I said something that was wrong, I will correct it. But in my opinion, there's so much fake news out there about XRP and so much hype, it's going to hurt way more people than it's going to help. Is it a great investment? I think so. I personally believe, and this is not financial advice, that one of the best trades anyone can make for a certain amount of their portfolio is to buy XRP. And once we get the announcement of regulation, sell into that rally. Dollar cost average out. Hell of a trade. I truly believe that. That's my opinion. That's what I'm doing. Again, not financial advice. That being said, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. We want you to be part of this community, so make sure you hit that notification bell. And also, hit the like button, guys. It really helps us out a lot, and we want to grow this community. And that's all I got. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment sections, and come back. Take care.